welcome back to Tandem Fandom's Hot Tag. I'm Mick.
I'm Courtney.
And we're tagging you in on all the hottest wrestling news in this business that we love.
For this week.
For this week, anyway. So, it was a pretty big week. We got to see the first Raw and the first SmackDown Live, which I feel like we should just say SmackDown from this point forward.
I mean, I guess they gotta say it for a couple weeks just to get it in people's head that, oh, it is live. They're probably gonna say Tuesday a million times on Raw.
Yes. So, that's fine. But for the purpose of this hot tag, we'll just say SmackDown. Because we're not going to say Raw Live.
We're not going to insult you good people by beating you over the head with the fact that it's live, because I'm sure you know.
That's right. It's like beating you over the head by the fact that the network is only $9.99 a month. You know, we're not gonna do that. But you know, this was the first SmackDown and Raw post-draft.
Completely solo shows, no crossover.
And it was fantastic.
It was amazing. A lot of people, you know, like, which one won, Raw or SmackDown? And I'm like, we did.
Yeah.
The fans won.
We did.
All
of us won.
The universe won.
Speaking of universe, Raw unveiled kind of a question that we had in terms of what they were going to do with the world title scene. Of course, they revealed the WWE Universal Championship. The first time they said the name, I was like, that's dumb. The second time they said the name, I'm like, The third time I was like, this is the best thing ever. You could be like, I am the champion of the universe.
Universe. I like it. It did seem a little cheap at first because I was like, WWE Universe, Universal title, you're pandering to us. But no, it actually does have a pretty good ring to it.
And it's a different name. It goes along with something that they say constantly with the WWE Universe. So that was really, really cool.
Yeah.
You know, we're not going to do like a full Raw and SmackDown breakdown. We got those separately if you want to hop over.
Yeah, hop over to our channel for specials on the CWC, the first live Raw, and the first standalone live SmackDown.
Yeah, for all the in-depth analysis. But, you know, they kept saying new era, new era, new era, and I feel like with both Raw and SmackDown, that was delivered wholeheartedly.
Right, if only because of the #1 contenderships with Finn Balor and Dolph Ziggler.
What?
And the Women's Championship switching hands to Sasha Banks.
Yeah, it was really cool, and I like the tone of it, because for all we know, next week it could revert back to status quo, but for this week...
Well, no, it can't, because these #1 contendership matches are at SummerSlam.
This is true.
So we're at least getting a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and Brock Lesnar will be returning on the next Raw, which is kind of a surprise. I mean, I know they're wanting to hype up, you know, him being at SummerSlam, but it's a little weird considering Randy's on SmackDown, so it's not like he's going to show up to see Randy. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Brock.
Well, Randy has shown up on both shows.
Yeah, this is true.
I mean, he's the Viper. He just goes where he wants to.
That's right, the Viperville. There's only one RKO out of nowhere to get there. It was the worst name. So bad.
And the writers are like, oh shit, it looked good on paper.
Suplex City sounds so much cooler. Because it is cooler. In NXT, we got a #1 contender in Shinsuke Nakamura. Kind of saw this coming from a mile away.
Right.
But it was official. Samoa Joe not exactly thrilled with the announcement, but...
Comes out, cuts that good old-fashioned angry Samoa Joe promo.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's kind of your biggest event from NXT, but it's still great. I really like what they're doing with Shinsuke, giving him the opportunity to show his personality and his character. By the time he comes up to the main roster, man, he's going to shoot straight to the moon.
Absolutely.
In the CWC, moving on, Zack Sabre Jr., Drew Gulak, Tony Nese, and the Brian Kendrick.
Which, if you didn't know, you can definitely tell that Brian Kendrick and Daniel Bryan have some sort of past.
Come on, Brian!
Because he was on commentary like he was front row, bought a ticket just to see him wrestle.
Which was really, really cool, and I like that element. And the fact that, like, Mauro Ranallo's like, oh, we are biased, or non-biased.
I'm biased. And
he's like, maybe you are, but I'm not.
I'm totally biased. I admit I'm biased. Go, Brian!
Yeah, so that was really cool. On Impact, we advanced further into the Bound for Glory playoff series with our final two participants, which would be EC3.
It's me, it's
EC3.
EC3.
And then the Miracle, Mike Bennett.
Do you believe?
I believe in miracles. I also believe that maybe not have Moose talk so much on the microphone. That whole, I will say, like, with Moose's debut, I thought that was really cool and really well done. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with him now.
Well, at least they put him in some actual wrestling boots, so he was the same height as Bobby this time.
Instead of being like...
Yeah, like, let's face off, like, I'm a real threat, and I'm like 4 inches shorter than you.
Well, and I thought, and you talked about this too, we thought it was odd that they just kept saying, former NFL player. They completely ignored the fact.
Not even gonna say, you know, independent wrestler who tore up the independent scene, you know, not even naming promotions.
He's wrestled Okada.
Yeah.
You could say, having wrestled, you know, IWGP heavyweight champion, you know, you could have said, and they
have not said a single thing about him formally being a wrestler.
They probably didn't mention the fact that he wrestled Okada because Okada used to work for TNA and hated it because of how they treated him. He was like Kato, or he was like a Kato knockoff character. So now I think about it, maybe that's why they didn't want to acknowledge that fact, because they're like, oh, this guy became a champion and we treated him like shit. But Rosemary and Brahm's story is advancing in an interesting manner.
Rosemary has a backstory of, like, her connection to, like, the forest and the dark arts.
With her imaginary brother Montgomery.
Yeah.
And what happened?
Well, no, it wasn't imaginary. It was a brother that, like, was buried or something.
Yeah, I was unclear.
Spoke to her through the trees.
I did like the fact that the, you know, Chesterfield Plague, the king of hardcore, Brahm, was rocking his pink shirt, headband, and man bun. I was like, yes, you are so, like, crazy death metal badass right now with the pink shirt and the pirate earrings. Like, that was like, come on, dude, you couldn't have kayfabed this. Look up a little bit.
But he was just like, don't worry about all that, baby. I'm here now.
Pretty much.
And Rosemary's like, no, I gotta tell you my story.
Yeah, Bobby beats the hell out of DJZ in a ladder match. Kind of saw us coming. I did like the press off the ladder, though. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, that was cool, but he's still got the X Division belt.
Well, and he made it known that he is questing for all the gold now. He will put his belts up against anybody else's belt, which is cool. We also have a King of the Mountain title coming up with Eli Drake, namer of dummies.
Yeah.
Against James Storm. Sorry about the damn last call super kick.
Boozer Cruiser.
But so, you know, that's exciting. I like their back and forth that they've had. I think
has been funny.
I think they're a good match. I really enjoy Eli Drake. I think he's...
How are you gonna boo water?
And that's the best part. Like, he's so quick and just... I like a lot of what he's doing. In Charlotte independent wrestling news, PWX Another Level happened. We were there, and it was absolutely fantastic. You got to see some of, you know, the best wrestlers in the Carolinas compete on this card. You also got to see Cruiserweight Classic competitor Charlotte's favorite son, Cedric Alexander, perform against the villain Marty Scurll.
Yeah.
So that was
really cool.
That was such a great match. You know, Gunner, former TNA star, defended his ITV title in impressive fashion. The Bravado brothers were in action, but the most important, John Schuyler, Man Scout Jake Manning for the title versus career, and the Man Scout won. Scout's honor. He's
for life.
Over for life. These shows are just so great, you know.
They are. They just balls to the wall. The ceiling always comes off the roof. The crowd is exhausted by the end of the show.
Yeah.
Because we're always just right here.
They do a really great job, and I feel like this time was very difficult show because of how insanely hot it was. I mean, that day was easily probably like 100 degrees outside.
Yeah.
And
the venue we're at, it's on the side of the highway. There is no shade on the building, so the building, well, I'm sure, was just sweltering before they set up.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It was...
They were all in there with all these Poor sweaty wrestlers.
Yeah, Roderick Strong looked like he had stepped out of the shower. He was soaking wet, but went out.
It didn't hold him back.
Yeah, he went out and he and Anthony Henry had an excellent match. The Ugly Ducklings were in action, which are always impressive.
Yeah.
The Product, David Starr. Look at it. Look at it.
Yeah, we did not get one look at it.
I was very disappointed. I wanted to look at it, David. He was on Impact, though. Competed against Moose.
Yeah.
Moose did not look at it either.
He did not.
And I was like, oh, well, that's a missed opportunity.
Sorry, David.
Yeah, it's okay.
We'll look at it.
We'll look at it. But, you know, it was a great show. It felt like a really nice culmination for Jake Manning in that moment.
Yes, that was amazing. The way it played out, it was like the end of a movie.
It kind of was, yeah. That's the feeling I got. Like, you know, he comes out to, you know, I was born in a small town. So you're kind of going on this journey with him, and he's such a fantastic guy, super friendly, super nice. We've seen him at a bunch of the shows, actually seen him outside of the shows, and he was just as nice. So really happy for him to...
Super nice, not afraid to beat your ass with a kendo stick, not afraid to throw you on some tacks.
Yes.
Not afraid to be thrown on tacks himself. Real tacks.
Real tacks.
Not like the tacks they used on Impact this week.
Those were gimmick tacks.
Those were fake-ass tacks.
That was not a real tack. When Crazy Steve takes the tack bump, rides around, and then gets up, and there's not a tack in him, and not a scrape on him.
And then he puts them in his mouth?
Yeah, we were like, sir, we just watched Jake Manning take a bump on tacks that exploded into the front row. We picked up, she put one in her shoe.
I had one in the bottom of my shoe.
Those were real tacks. Impact Wrestling. Get real tacks.
Get real tacks.
If you're going to do a tack bump, use real ones. Otherwise, don't do it. Just don't do the tack bump.
Just don't do it.
You don't have to do a tack bump. We're not expecting you to do a tack bump. You can save it. Don't do it. That aside, it was a great show. You know, PWX returning again in August 21st?
August 21st.
Yeah, so that's going to be really exciting. Cedric Alexander cut an impassioned promo after his match.
Oh, yeah.
And basically said, hey, I don't know if I'm going to get signed. I don't know how many more of these shows I've got. But I know I will challenge for the title at the next PWX. That says to me, it may be the end of the line. We wanted to see Cedric before the show, but we were told by a friend of ours that he showed up kind of late.
Right.
So he didn't really get set up to sell merch and stuff like that. So hopefully we get to see him at the next show.
Oh, we got to chat with Marty for a minute.
Yeah, I got to chat with Marty Skrull, who's a super nice guy despite the villain moniker. Great guy. You know, it was really exciting to see him. I loved his and Cedric's style together. It was really, really cool.
Yeah.
Great show, but I think that's all we got for this week in the hot tag.
Pretty much. I'm super excited to see Finn Balor and Seth Rollins.
Yes, they're going to tear the house down. You know, because looking at it, Roman and Seth, we've seen it. Yeah. Finn and Seth are going to destroy everything. And I even think Dolph and Dean are going to have a really great match. I think the two of them are going to work together really, really well.
And poor Roman, he's enjoying his plates and plates.
And you're going to eat plates and plates and plates of shit. And you're going to learn to like the taste, pal. Well, that being said... Oh, wait. You know, we were asked on another video to ask questions, or take questions to answer.
Ask a question for them to answer.
Okay.
And read their answers.
There you have it. That's what we were asked to do. So we were asked to come up with a question for you guys. And remember, you can always ask us anything. We're more than happy to answer it. But our question for you this week, in your opinion, who had the better show? Raw or SmackDown? Was SmackDown Live everything that we thought it would be? Did Raw deliver the goods? Let us know what you think in the comments below. As always, like, subscribe, share, and comment on the video.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And as we always say here on Tandem Fandom, right before we tag you out, if you're going to be a fan,
tag a friend.